There was a
Easily.
turd on the sidewalk when I was walking up to your house.
human turd?
It was on the other side of the road, like by a dumpster. And I'm like, is that human? It looked human.
It could
It
have
probably
been.
was.
There's a lot of like
Fish.
drunk people and it's like there's homeless people everywhere and there's drunk people.
I think
And
they
then there's-
say unhoused people now.
There's bougie, those rich.
They're fucking homeless. They don't have a home.
Yeah, but it doesn't define them.
It kind
Becca,
of
you
does.
know I have nothing against homeless people. You know,
I got everything
I'm
against
actually,
homeless people. They got to get their fucking bag up.
Okay.
If I
chill.
were to ever become like rich as
They're not
fuck,
going to hear this. They're homeless. I can say whatever the
You
fuck
have
I want to
phones,
say.
dude.
Some of them.
I have never met a homeless. I've met a lot of homeless people, okay, and I've never met one who did not have a phone.
Okay. They don't have a service plan.
But you know what?
Yes, they do.
How the fuck?
The government phone. They get.
Ah, that's right.
Their home can be a person. Their home could be a dog. So
We're
they're not
talking-
homeless.
We're talking structured. We're talking
That's
four
why I say
walls and a
unhoused.
roof.
Unsheltered people.
Unsheltered. What if they have a tent? Okay, this is
Four-
bad.
Yeah.
Dude, there's a. I have to drive by. I don't know if this is the right word to use. This is what I call it in my mind: a homeless camp,
Mhm.
where there's a bunch of homeless people and they have tents and stuff, and it's like under a bridge. It's right by the Bengal Stadium where people do tailgating
Mm.
during the Bengal season. But when people aren't tailgating there, there's a bunch of tents and stuff set up, and they have a food truck that comes by. I want to say once a week, but like they'll all like collect there when the food truck is about, because it stops in that same parking lot. So they all camp out there and wait on that food
They're
truck.
like ants.
No, they're people.
They come by, drop some crumbs, and they all coagulate in one spot.
Ew. Coagulate.
Yeah, ew. It's all homeless people. Yeah, gross, dude. What the fuck? Sorry.
If I were to ever get a shit ton of money, I would want to open, like, one of the things that is unattainable for me to do right now, but one of the things I would want to do is open up a nonprofit that helped homeless people. Like Food for the Hungry. I feel so bad for them because I drive by them every day in the winter.
The only thing that's gonna coagulate is your blood on the floor when I murder you. Sorry.
I gotta say something right now that I feel like is kind of important if you try to go to the philanthropy route. Is some homeless people are homeless for a reason.
Oh,
Like
you think
they're
people deserve to be homeless?
not all of them, of course not all of them. I'm just saying that some of them have made really, really bad decisions or have gone down terrible paths and
Like
have
what?
chosen
Can you
to
give examples, please?
drugs, dude. Like some of them are like heavy
We
on it.
cannot do this right now.
What?
They are still people and they
Right.
still deserve basic fucking human. I feel very, very passionate about this, okay?
Drug
They deserve-
addicts are people.
They're still people. Like, example, I have been homeless before,
Mhm.
okay? I was literally sleeping in a tent and I did this for a long period of fucking time.
Well, why didn't? I mean, you had momos. It wasn't like.
Well, when I get in a relationship with someone, I'm in it 100%.
Mhm.
And Momo did not like my boyfriend at the time. Okay, so this was a decision. Usually homelessness is because of series of bad decisions. Yes. Okay. And hang on, I'm getting ahead of myself. He was homeless. Okay. And I was like, well, I have a job, so let me help you. We were bouncing from hotel to hotel, living in tents when we didn't
Yeah.
have money for hotels and stuff. But I didn't want to just leave him on his own, and I didn't have the power.
Although you
or the
probably
money.
should have.
I should have, yes, because he was a piece
He
of
did
fucking
not
shit.
deserve any
No,
energy.
like
You're a ride or die.
yes, I am 100% a ride or die in a relationship.
But so
If
you
my
would
partner is homeless, then so am I.
so you would agree with me that not just Jesus Christ, your current husband, not talking about him, that guy probably is one of the ones that deserve to be homeless. he's a
Okay,
piece
people
of shit.
that have murdered people aren't homeless. Do you think they deserve to be homeless? Like,
If-
I'm saying people in prison. Sorry, that's what I meant. People in prison are housed,
Yeah.
but people on the street aren't. And do you think that people that are in prison don't deserve to have a house?
I think that no matter how shitty of a person you are, you still have your basic bare necessities that need to be met. No matter how shitty you are, even though internally I want to immediately be like, fuck you. No. You know what I mean? They're still a fucking
And
person.
a lot of homeless people will commit crimes to have a
Right,
place
right, which
to
I-
stay and
Yep.
have food.
I
in the
understand
winter.
that.
Yeah.
But so you're saying like the Boston bomber, he deserves to have a roof over his head, even though he's murdered like dozens.
Well, when we say that, we mean like the bare minimum.
The bare minimum.
Not like
meaning,
a fucking mansion or like a nice apartment. We
honestly,
mean like
it would be kind of sick if like there was like a dome we just threw people in. That like
dome.
maybe that's what
This feels
well, hold on.
Maze Runner.
Okay, yeah. I thought you were about to discredit my. What's that one? There's this one place in like Cuba where like they just throw like the worst of the worst people, and like it's like a supermax facility. I can't remember the name of it. Guantanamo. They've since shut it down after the Trump administration, I believe, or Trump was the one who shut it down. I can't remember what it was.
W Trump. Sorry.
Dubs. Which he was talking about getting rid of the income tax and replacing it with tariffs on companies instead, which does sound pretty cool. I don't know how it works out on paper though, or I don't know how it would work out in the real life, but on paper it sounds great. So
Give me a few years and I'll be able to type up reports for you and give you the breakdown of everything numbers wise.
okay. Go ahead. Siri, start a timer for 4 years. What was I saying? Oh yeah, it would be pretty sick to just like throw a bunch of like the super bad criminals, just throw them all in. I mean, that is what prison is, but throw them all in like a dome that's like exposed to the elements and just let them go full like Survivor Man. Just like make them like one of those like untouched tribes, and there's like an island where like none of them are exposed to like like almost said America.
It's giving Hunger Games. They occasionally drop some supplies down and they fight to the death.
I'm not even saying drop supplies. I mean, just let them be fully, like, they don't get to have AC. They don't get to have like heating
like
when
no
it's cold.
luxuries.
No luxuries at all.
This is controversial and I'm not going to get into it and I'm not going to say my opinion on it.
That's my opinion.
I'm afraid
They
what is your
have the
opinion?
death penalty.
They do, but
Yeah.
that's too easy. I honestly don't believe in the death penalty because I believe that it's too easy of a punishment. Like,
But-
oh, you killed people, we're gonna kill you right now. It's like,
People on so death row, they have their own unit usually in prisons.
Yeah.
Example, in I believe Kentucky, there is one woman who's on death row and she's in that unit by herself in isolation.
Yeah.
Like that is a form of mental torture.
yeah,
Don't
no,
they
it
say
is.
like 7% of people that are on death row are innocent?
I believe that because there are people who I've watched so many murder mystery cases. It's not that hard if you play your cards right to frame somebody else.
Bring back.
It just has to be a person in the right place at the right time.
Mhm.
Like there was one dude who was framed for murdering somebody. Oh gosh, I'm gonna get into it. Okay. So there was a husband and wife. I don't remember their fucking names. And the wife, this was like way back in the day before like cell phones and stuff. I'm pretty sure. Okay. She got harassed by her taxi cab driver. Like it was like a stalker situation. So they called the taxi cab company and he got fired. The husband wanted to kill his wife. He didn't want to be married to her anymore. So he called the taxi cab driver and invited him over to his house. Okay. And it was fucking a double murder. He called okay, so he shot his wife and he shot the taxi cab driver and he called 911 and was like, "Oh my God, our old taxi cab driver broke into our house and was attacking my wife and blah, blah, blah. And I had to shoot him. I had to shoot him." And then he was off scot-free for like 10 fucking years, or it might have been 6 years before they revisited the fucking case and found out that that taxi cab driver, even though he was a stalker and a fucking creep, was completely innocent of fucking murder. Because one of the evidence they had is the taxi cab driver brought over a coffee mug and he set it on the counter. Like, what if you're going to go murder someone? Why would you bring your coffee?
For energy to
Yeah,
murder
no,
people.
like he had a coffee mug and like normal items that he had set on the counter. Like he was there for a visit.
like a friendly
Why didn't-
get-together.
Yeah, and
Were
he didn't bring
they-
a weapon or anything. The weapon was like, I think the wife's head might have been bludgeoned in or some shit like that. It was like some tool that
So
was
they
within
weren't
the
shot?
house. Well, the taxi cab driver.
Okay,
was
so why
shot.
didn't they test the guy's hands for gunpowder?
They should have.
They
but
should have.
They
That
did
is
not.
that is 100%. Every time you shoot a gun, you are getting covered in gunpowder
Mhm.
Wait,
at a
but
molecular level.
the wife wasn't shot. Only the taxi driver was
I'm
shot.
pretty sure because he wanted to make it look like that the taxi cab driver was attacking his wife.
So he had to shoot then.
He literally planned all this the fuck out completely. Like, there's obviously a lot more details that I'm leaving out. I don't remember the whole fucking story, but
Damn.
But yeah, he like literally framed that taxi cab driver.
What if we all just sat on the floor in a circle?
Well, no, it'd be pretty sore. Our butts would be fucking sore after like
Get little
30
pillows.
minutes. Get
What I'll
what?
do
Butt
is
pillows.
Butt pillows?
I'll get a house that has a backyard, and then I'll get backyard furniture, and then I'll arrange it in a circle.
I would say yes, but
W.
what we talk about should not be
Heard.
live by anybody.
They're gonna call the cops on us.
I'll get
We're
privacy
talking about
fences.
killing homeless people.
The amount of times that we say the N-word, like,
Oh my god!
I'm just kidding.
I will turn my backyard into a dome.
The backyard.
and we throw homeless people in there and make them survive. Yeah.
In the backyard.
We bring back gladiators, like we go full ancient Rome, and we give them like spears and like malices or whatever the fuck it's called, and like the thing with like the chain on a ball with like spikes on it, and you swing it around.
Hell
Give
yeah.
them that, and then like helmets and shit. I don't know why helmets, but I'm just thinking of.
I
And
feel
that
like we never
one-
finished our homeless people conversation.
Well, we can.
I'm just
Well,
saying.
It'll be a conversation that will
you
never
think
end.
homeless people deserve to be homeless, but then the worst people on the earth are in prisons and they are not homeless.
Definitely some homeless people deserve to be homeless.
How can you
For
elaborate, please?
Because here's my thought process. Some of them made bad, like let's say you are like a full gambling addict, okay, and you've completely put your house on a roulette spin, or the safety of your family, because that was more important than you, or more important than them. This is completely hypothetical. Like obviously, I'm sure this has happened, but like you lose your home, you've essentially just pissed away everything. And it's like, that was totally avoidable. Like, that was dumb. Like, I'm not saying that they deserve to be homeless forever, but that...
do you think people should have consequences to their actions?
Yes.
Do you have the same stance for abortion?
What do you mean by that?
If you lay down on your back, you should have that child because you consented.
No, I don't agree.
Okay. Then why is
don't
it? How
agree.
is it different?
Because usually a homeless, majority of the time, it is solely based on bad decisions.
Okay. What if a woman never took birth control, never wanted their partner to pull out?
I'm not trying to compare abortion to homeless.
I'm putting your principle to the test.
Right,
Well-
but it doesn't necessarily apply because that's like... It's...
Do you know what an analogy is?
No, I get what an analogy is, but I just don't feel it fits in that context.
But both are life-changing things.
yeah,
Being unhoused, having a child against your will.
Technically, pulling out isn't the woman's decision.
I know, but I'm saying they've
homelessness-
had the conversation. She's like, you don't have to pull out.
homelessness is solely based on one person's decision, and then impregnation is usually two. Sometimes it's one, not necessarily the woman.
Well, with
But-
that thought process, you could argue that in the scenario that somebody is, example, doing drugs and they become homeless, then their drug dealer should be homeless too, because there's
Yeah.
two people involved, because the
True.
drug dealer is dealing the drugs to the person, even though they know that's bad.
No, I mean, sure, the dealer knows what he's doing. He's profiting off of that, but at the end of the day, it's like saying that gas station owners should be homeless because they sell like over the counter like spice and like unregulated drugs.
I think our issue here is you view addiction as a choice, and I view it as a disease.
It depends, I guess. I do view it as a disease, but for the most part, there are certain cases where it's like, what are you doing? Like, you do not have to be doing that.
Controversial, but
I think I know your stance on this.
I think it's a choice.
I mean, it absolutely
I
is.
knew that it was bad in this scenario. Like, if I were to do drugs, I knew it was bad, and I made the choice to pick it up and do it anyway. And then I actively kept making that choice over and over and over again,
Yeah.
even though
Do
I
you
could have
think-
walked away at any point.
Unaliving
Before the
yourself is a
addiction.
choice.
Yeah.
Or do you
Yeah.
think it's a false choice?
I think
It's
that
a
one's
choice.
hard.
It's
Is
not
it?
I mean,
It's still a choice that you make, but then again, you got to think mental illness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All addiction is rooted in mental illness.
Yes.
well, some
'Cause
people are like
addiction-
have that addiction.
Why do you think they go to that extent? It's because they're
Mentally ill.
and they have no choice but to cope that way. So it's a false choice, in my opinion. Just like the
this-
land
yeah,
of the
that is
free. It's like you have freedom, yeah, but it's a false choice. You either work or you're homeless. It's a false choice.
I forgot
You mean
the
like
term
it's
for this.
there's not like free will per se? Because if you were to actually like practice free will, you would probably end up homeless.
Yeah, exactly. If you were to actually do exactly what you wanted to do in
if
this
you
life,
were to fight or not fight, if you were to go against the norms,
yeah,
or
against capitalism, you are going to be homeless.
I kind of see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's kind of like me turning to Matthew right now and being like, all right, you can give me $10,000 or I murder your whole family.
I'm like,
It's your
oh,
choice.
I
Yeah.
choose to give the
And
10,000.
it's,
No,
yeah,
I
it's
don't
like
have
you
a
chose
choice.
it.
It's either that or you're
But what
fucked.
if you don't have the money?
I gave
you
them a
chose for your
choice.
family to
Then
die.
I would.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
chose your
see,
family to-
I see your point.
But with drug addiction, it is a choice for the most part.
But
Like,
it is rooted in mental illness.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
what
No
isn't-
mentally sound person is going to go that route.
What isn't
Yeah.
rooted in mental illness? Like what? You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna give details just in case, but
And I'm not saying that like if you're a drug addict, all the decisions you make are like you have no repercussions, no
like
accountability. I'm not
I-
saying that.
I mean this is very minor compared to some other addictions, but like I vaped for like 3 years and then I quit. I still have like the lingering like wanting to do it, but
Yeah.
then my mind is like, but you quit for a reason.
Yeah.
It's always like my brother-in-law on my girlfriend's brother, we went to a ball game the other day and he offered me a Zen knowing that I quit,
Oh damn.
and I immediately was like no, like it wasn't even like a no thanks. I literally was just like no, like I was almost like
Yeah.
protecting myself against it.
Whenever people
Like,
offer,
"Get back."
even if people don't know me, if somebody offers me a drink, my response is exactly what you described. It's like, no, I'm sober.
Yeah.
Like no, like why would you?
Why would you offer me that?
I think
Like
the-
immediately it's anger.
Yeah.
I think
even
the
though they don't
difference
know.
here is that we have a purpose. We have a reason to stop those addictions. Some people don't. They have nothing.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes
what-
their addiction is all they have.
But what benefit do you get other than just being ignorant to
Something to
Reality.
look forward to.
Being what do you mean ignorant to?
like
You like willfully ignorant?
I guess like if you're doing a substance with the intention of like blocking everything out.
Yeah.
It's like
If you don't have anything and you have a substance problem, the substance problem gives you something to look
Yeah.
forward to. It's
Yeah.
something, it's an activity that you like, your brain is immediately like, fuck
it
yes,
is pretty nice.
serotonin.
I will say it is nice.
It distracts you from your mental illness.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a temporary relief from life because when you're on that substance, you do not think about anything else going on in your life at all. You're just thinking about then in the moment and how you feel right then and there. It's just it's a crutch.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a distraction.
And until someone finds a purpose in their life, they probably won't stop.
Probably
And we
not.
are privileged enough that we find purposes to stop our addictions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my alcoholism.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped because I realized it took a while, but I realized it was tearing my life apart.
But now imagine you have no house, you have nothing else.
That should give you the motivation to
But how do you even go about it? It's like so hopeless.
Yeah, you have to be in that scenario to understand it.
yeah. No, I'm sure that's true.
Because like to get a job, you have to have an address. I know you could borrow someone else's,
Yeah.
but like
You have to have an address. You have to be clean. You have to have clean clothes to even get
Yeah.
in, get the job through the job interview.
I mean,
You,
you got
have to have access to a reliable way to clean yourself.
transportation.
I mean, how expensive
you
is a
can
bus
walk
pass?
and bus. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
ways around transportation, but like you have to find a way to clean yourself, or you're going to get fired for being smelly and
Well, here's
dirty.
the thing. Most public gyms have like showers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's
Planet
like $10
Fitness-
a month.
Right.
And you need a bank account for that.
Or you
Mhm.
can buy a day pass at Planet Fitness. It's like $6.
Okay, but the thing is, I think is like these things have to be very consistent, and it takes a long time to save money to buy a place to stay. So it's like you have to do these things daily for like months. And it's like, can you do that? Is it even possible?
That's $6 to go bathe and you haven't eaten in 3 days.
Yeah.
And my made up scenario, you're going to choose a McDonald's sandwich.
I will say, like, some places do have daily pay. Like, I know Rallies does, because every time I drive by it, it says, like, get work today, get paid today, or something like that. Like, I mean, there are certain jobs where you could benefit from getting paid more often to be able to.
Daily pays, though, are very, what's the word I'm looking for? Where they take advantage of people.
Well, I don't know if they take advantage. There's
the daily pays, they have extremely high interest rates or fees attached to them to get paid that daily amount.
I've used those before, and it's usually just like you can't get your full day's pay that, like, you can't get it immediately. Like, you can only get a certain percentage, and then whatever you don't take out, you get paid when you normally would.
Predatory. They're very predatory. I have that at my work, and it's basically called a payday loan, and they have high interest rates on them.
Well, it was Amazon that I got it through.
Yeah. And it's like example, mine, it's 5%, which that's not terrible, but still, if I need $100, well, I'm losing $5 of that $100. When you're homeless, every dollar fucking counts.
Yeah.
And you normally do not have access to a lot. So like $100, that might be the only $100 that you see until the next 2 weeks, your next paycheck, when you're trying to get out of the hole.
I mean, weekly pay is becoming more common.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say 2 weeks.
It's still, weekly.
For most corporate jobs, it is 2 weeks.
Well, mine, I get paid every 2 weeks, and I've always pretty much got paid every 2 weeks. But the jobs that Justin has in construction, he gets paid weekly.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah. Like,
I would prefer weekly pay over bi-weekly.
The last 3 or 4 jobs that I've had have been weekly, and it's so I don't think I could ever go back to 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you pay whatever bills you need to get paid during that week versus having to wait 2 weeks. I would rather get paid either weekly or monthly, like salary, because then you get all your money for the whole month and you can pay all your bills at one time, and then you know exactly what you have. Because
if you were to spend too much, or if you budgeted incorrectly, you're fucked for the next 4 weeks.
Well, budgeting isn't hard. You just have to use self-control.
Yeah.
You just have to have a smidgen of self-control in order to make that work. Like, imagine if you got all your money for the month right now. You'd be like, okay, I need to pay all my bills. You pay all your bills, and then you know the amount you have left over, so you know you can spend.
The nearest Hard Rock is 10 miles from me. I'm going to go in, put it all on black. I'm going to double my monthly paycheck. I'm going to get paid twice this month on the same day.
Then you deserve to be homeless.
I lose, and then I have to give my house up for collateral, and then I'm homeless.
Like, I feel like being homeless is like a hard fucking lesson to learn.
Yeah. Like, people who get out of being homelessness, I don't think they ever become homeless again, because or actually, I don't know. I just feel like if I was ever homeless, I would do everything in my power to not be homeless again.
Because I was homeless at one point. I make sure that I pay my rent over having groceries in my house.
You do what you have to.
I literally prioritize having a roof over my head, because when you become homeless, not only do you lose a roof over your head and shelter from the elements, but you lose all your shit.
You lose everything.
You lose literally everything you
Unless
own.
you have a car that can carry stuff for like your bags or whatever.
But then you can only take a small percentage of your stuff.
Yeah. Which,
like, you lose your, like, and then when you get out of it, guess what? You have to buy a couch. You have to buy a table to sit at. You have to buy a bed to sleep in.
I will say, if you do have your own place, that is a great start to be able to save, to be able to get those things, because then you won't have to pay for like showers or just laundry, that type of thing. Or if it is like you would have to pay less.
Yeah. No, it is a lot cheaper to. I feel like our system is very classist. It's set up like, example, tickets. Like, you get a ticket if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you can't afford a $200 speeding ticket.
No, it completely fucks everything. Oh, we were talking about how if we were to give heroin to a homeless person, that they would choose to do that over. They would actually become super conservative and like choose to make women carry throughout the full term. To like, they were like lab rats, where like we give them like little spurts of heroin if they click the no abortion button when the woman comes in. I don't know. I just
Like
made that
voter
up.
fraud?
He made it up completely. We're talking
Wow.
about homelessness and how hard it is to get out of it.
And why homeless people suck, and that they
No.
all
They don't
are
deserve to
terrible.
be housed.
That they all should just be fucking gunned. No.
How it is, the system is classist, and how it is more expensive to be poor than it is to have money. 'Cause
Yeah.
If you have money, guess what? You can buy a nice pair of shoes. And those nice pair of shoes could last you several years. Versus you're poor, you can't afford the nice pair of shoes. You gotta get the cheap pair of shoes.
Yeah.
And guess what? Those shoes only last like 6 months because you work a hard ass job.
I also view it like if you are more poor, it's like
Your mic's off, or Caitlin's mic's off. One of your mics are off.
God damn it.
but
My
it's
mic
like
was off.
let's
I don't know
say
for how long, though.
you don't have enough money to buy a car, so the only places you can go to get food is your local gas station. You're gonna be paying so much more for
Mhm.
that food versus someone that has a car can drive to fucking Aldi's, you know.
Or like example, you don't have a washer and dryer and you have to do your laundry at a laundromat. You're probably going to be spending more money per week doing your laundry than if you had your own washer and dryer at home, because laundromats wouldn't exist if they didn't make a profit.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're spending, like when I had to do my laundry at laundromats, I was spending between $10 to $20 a week. That's for 3 people's worth of laundry. And then I wouldn't buy a bottle of laundry detergent because I'm not going to tote that all the way in there and all the way back out. So I would buy little packets of laundry thing at the fucking place. And if you think in this scenario, let's say I don't have a car. Well, guess what? I have to go to the laundromat every single day and carry my laundry to the laundromat in small amounts because I can't carry it all at one time. And then I'm spending $4 per day on one load of laundry. That adds up.
But I feel like if everyone had the opportunity to have a house or somewhere to stay that like was bare minimum, there would be less drug addicts and less poverty and less.
Well, yeah, because people could get their mental health state right, and it wouldn't be so much pressure of, oh, well, I have to conform to society in order to meet my basic needs.
Yeah.
She stepped on your wiener.
It's like, oh, because imagine not having to stress about paying rent. Like, I'm not saying every single person, everyone's rent should be paid. I'm saying the people that like can't afford it, that aren't at that place.
well, if you look at our federal minimum wage right now, nobody can live off of that. Like if you got a job making like $8 an hour, you wouldn't be able to live in our society at all. Even if you got a roommate, like nowadays, it's like if you have a roommate, you're spending at least like $600 to $800. And they were roommates. And this is random. So I live in a bar town, so drunk people walk by my window all the time. And there was two drunk girls walking by my windows, and I had my windows open, and she was like, and he was married. And I said it out loud to Justin. I was like, and he was married. So she heard me say that in my house.
Imagine being drunk and you get mocked by like a random person. That would set me off so bad.
Like, come outside.
Like if I'm already drunk, I'm already not thinking straight. And
Yeah.
I hear like I say something and someone goes,
She
I'm gonna go,
was...
bitch.
She was like a more of a I love you drunk because
Ah.
me saying that in the house
Made her
encouraged
laugh.
her more. And so she just got louder and progressively kept repeating herself more and more
But you know what? She deserves to be homeless because she has an addiction.
to married men, apparently.
Yeah.
She said that she didn't know that I heard their whole conversation. She said she didn't know he was married, that she slept with him. And found out later, and she was like, ugh! You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That she slept with a married man.
I feel like
God, how could I do this to myself?
Yeah.
I feel like that's like low key a consent violation when someone lies to you just to get you. Because like if you knew they were married, you wouldn't have slept with them.
No.
So a part
I
of me
mean,
is like lying like that is low key. Like
If you told someone on a date that you shat yourself within the last month, they probably still won't want to sleep with you. So it's like,
well, there's
then that's
certain
not your
things
person.
that's okay to leave out. Like, I'm not gonna go on a first date and be like, "So I've shit myself like 16 times."
and why
this
would you
year."
go, by the way, I'm married?
because you're lying. And
Because
like,
that's kind of an important piece of
Is
information.
it lying
Because
if
the reason that you date somebody is for marriage, and if they're already
Well,
married,
Not always. If we're talking about a one night stand, usually lifestyle
Well,
doesn't
she
matter.
probably wasn't looking for a one night stand. She probably was just. I don't know. Sometimes one night stands happen. Sometimes you're not out there seeking them out specifically. Sometimes you get drunk at a bar and you meet a dude and then you think you had a good time and then you find out later that dude was fucking married and then you're fucking enraged by it.
Yeah.
Because you didn't do that.
It's just like
because,
icky.
Yeah, it makes you feel icky.
Like violated in some way.
I mean, for the most part, like when you, I mean, I've never done this, but like I feel like if you were to go to like a bar, you're presenting yourself in a way that is more likable to, like, if you see a woman and you're like, it's like almost like you're fitting her mold to score. So it's like, married or not married, you're not being yourself.
Single women usually go to bars to meet men.
Exactly. So it's
or
not
to
like
have a good
Single
time
men.
or to have a good time with their friends. Sometimes they're just out with their friends having a good time. But one of the purposes of bars is to meet people.
Single.
I mean,
people.
whether
Socialization.
yes, usually it's single people. Like I went to bars to socialize. Like I wasn't up at that bar drinking expensive drinks for no fucking reason when I could have drinks at home. No, it was to get out in the world and socialize. Like I was married and I was with Justin, but it was to meet new people and to have a good time. If I was single and up there, I'd probably be trying to meet new people in another way, like, you know, try to find a partner, maybe.
A mate.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I feel like if me and Justin didn't work out, I don't think I would date again. No, I think I would stay single for a really fucking long time. Because I don't want to do the whole...
It sucks being like single throughout your prime, you know?
I mean, you get to do what you want. You don't have to answer to anyone.
Or no, it sucked. No, I'm not going to say that.
we should probably divert.
Yeah,
try
I
to-
think that we've been talking about this for 30 minutes.
Completely like off the cuff, like let's get into that real quick and then yeah. So does anyone have anything new going on in their life? Either of you?
My life is consisted of school
My life
and
been
work.
like sorry, what?
Work and school,
Are you working in school or are you schooling in work?
both.
That's illegal. Take
You
away
should
her
be
house.
homeless.
Just get one of those big wrecking balls and just knock it down.
Got new tires on my car.
Are these gonna stick around this time?
What do you mean? Are they going to disappear?
Are
What
they
do you
gonna
mean?
explode after like 30 minutes of driving on them?
No.
Okay.
My tires were very bald. And I was like, when it
Bald.
was raining, I was like sliding everywhere. So I had to get new ones. Well,
Did
not
you
new
do that
ones, but-
recently?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you talking about your tires being bold. Next time I get one of those things, they put in our packets at work. The packets, they have the keys to the van, the Prime vans and the phones and battery packs and stuff. Sometimes they'll put a tire checker in there. It's a little metal thing that you put on your tire and it tells you if your tread is good or not.
They make
If-
you do that?
Huh?
Why
No, well, they don't make us do it. They say that we should use it for that, but I just been taking them home. It's like a little keychain. I'm like, ooh,
It's
I
like a
bet it.
reward.
yeah, it's like a reward.
Anything that's left in a Prime van is like up for grabs, apparently. Like I once left a really expensive plug-in charger
Mm-hmm.
and it was fucking stolen the next day.
I left a Nike hoodie and a Jordan hoodie, and they're gone forever
I
now.
left pee bottles and someone fucking took
They
those.
fucking chugged them.
You're like, I wanted those.
They probably sold it on eBay. To be honest.
Dude, the last time I went to work, there was several pee bottles in my van, and I was
Ew.
like thoroughly disgusted.
I can't imagine the thought process of peeing in a bottle and leaving it behind. That would be the only
Yeah.
thing I would be thinking
I
about the whole
have-
time.
I have peed in a bottle before at work, and
Did you leave it?
no. Like you said, it was the only thing on my mind. I'm like, I gotta make sure I
Like,
get this
make sure,
out
make
because
sure.
I am not going to be publicly shamed.
Ugh.
Because
they're gonna
usually
DNA
people
test
post in the
it.
group chat, like, because they post every day you get your roster of your name and your van, right? And it shows everyone's names and everyone's van. So you can just look from the day before and see whose pee bottle it was. So they'll be like, Jessica, you stanky bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they do that in the group chat. And then, yeah, the management has to get involved and be like, hey, stop cussing. We got to be nice to each other in here. Guys.
I don't get paid enough to be nice.
God, if my job saw the shit that I was saying in my team's group chat about other people,
Fire.
Yeah,
oh
imagine-
my god,
Imagine that group chat, but your managers are in there. That's
Oh,
how
we're
it is.
done.
People
we're smoked.
people have like that's how it is at work. All the managers are included in the group chats.
No, we at my work, it's me and two other guys because everyone else got fired. or quit. So it's just us three now, and we just talk so much shit about the other like remaining people about that who work there. It's so much fun. We like do this like we keep talking like we're playing a video game, and there's this one like really big guy on one of the lines, and we call him Chad the Butcher, and it's like we keep making like jokes like if you go into his line, there's a 30% chance he's gonna talk to the player. We're the players, and there's like NPCs. So it's like if you're researching, meaning if you're in that line on your laptop, there's a heightened chance that he will come over and talk to you about. He always says like the same dialogue. So like we call him an NPC because he's always like, that server doesn't have any power, or can you help me out get this one out of debug, or just random shit that's like.
Is he a boomer?
He's 50s probably. So yeah.
Adds up.
50s is not boomers.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's
Dad
not.
was a baby boomer.
Yeah, but
Baby
dad
boomers,
would be in his dad would be like 65 right now if he was alive. 65,
Yeah.
66. Mom
This-
is 50 and she is the generation after the baby boomers. She's because grandma's a boomer.
But Dad was born 10 years before that.
Momo's not even a boomer.
So
Momo's
wait,
from the
Momo-
silent generation.
Mama was before the Great Wars, or after, or sorry.
Momo was the one who gave birth to the boomer.
Momo caused the
Yeah.
wars.
Well, so she was born between World War One and World War Two.
Yes.
She was born in 1941. World War Two, I think, started in 1941. 1943. It ended in 1945, I want to say.
And then there was a big birth boom, which Momo gave birth to. Because
So
Teresa,
boomer-
Jill, and Dad were boomers.
Baby boomer is the same as boomer, right?
Yeah, I thought you were just saying
Yeah.
Dad wasn't a boomer.
Dad, technically, I believe, is a boomer. No, I said Mom wasn't a boomer. She's in her 50s.
No, you said Dad wasn't a boomer because if he was, he'd be 65 right now.
No, I said, yeah, Dad would be 65. He's a boomer because he would be 65.
Was?
Roll it back.
Oh my gosh.
He's 50s probably. So yeah.
Adds up.
50s is not boomers.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's
Dad was a
not.
baby boomer.
Yeah, but
Baby
Dad
boomers,
would
different.
be in his Dad would be like 65 right now if he was alive. Yeah, so Dad is a boomer.
Yeah.
What was our original point before we went on a
He was
tangent?
talking about the one guy that says
Oh,
the
at
same
work.
shit.
Yeah. All he does is he hovers big time.
Ew.
Like, So I don't know if I told you guys this, but I would consider this sexual assault.
Ew.
This was like my first like 2 months of working at this place,
Oh, I love this.
and
What?
we were standing in the line. There's like a line, meaning like both. There's like an alley, or sorry, not an alley, a walkway between like two rows of servers. It's like maybe 15 feet gap between servers. And I was assigned to one section of the server. Now we don't do that. We were just free roam around the lines. But this guy, I'm not going to say his name, but the guy we're talking about, he would hover when you're working. He would like see what you're doing. He's not like above anybody. He's like a tester, and I'm an operator, technically a technician. So like we aren't like above one another. So it's not like he's watching me to make sure I'm doing things right, because he doesn't know what I do. So he's probably just watching to see what I do. But it's like when
All the
you're,
time.
it's when you don't want him to, he's there. Or like when something doesn't involve him, he's just kind of like, I'm like, God damn it. It's like being on your phone in public and someone's like looking to see what you're doing.
That's definitely some form of harassment.
And there was one time he was telling me something, but the place is so loud. We're wearing earplugs and ear protection on top of that, and he doesn't talk loud enough. So like he'll be like, all you hear is I'm like, what? And I like do one of these, and then he gets closer to me, but he's a big guy, so he has a big tummy, and he just like fully pressed it against me
Oh,
to say, that server doesn't have any power. Can you? I'm like, you can just send me a message on Teams, dude, at this rate.
ew.
But ever
One
since
of his
then,
NPC
I
phrases.
don't use that line anymore. I completely avoid that line because that's where
Mhm.
he stays.
Yeah.
So I'm in like a different line, and it's very uncomfortable. But he's not like a bad guy per se, but it's just like he does a lot of things that are like on my list of pet peeves.
Like touching you without. Like
I mean, he doesn't like
stomach
use his
touch-
hand, but I was like immediately like it was way warmer than I thought it was
like
gonna be. I was like,
traumatizing.
oh my god! I was like, okay, I got you. So,
Ew.
and then he's a smoker, and he chews red hot gum. So like whenever he talks to you, you just smell cinnamon. he chews like he literally chews with the mouth, and he goes like when he's walking in the break room, you can hear it.
Ew.
Like he goes.
Ew.
My God, that's probably what his stomach sounds like when he's jerking off.
Oh God, Matthew!
When he's cranking his hog that he can't see, his stomach is probably just a flopping.
Next time he comes up to you to talk to you, he could put his stomach on you and be like, "You want to hear that sound?"
I put my stomach on him.
Ew.
I push out my stomach as far as I can, like a toddler. Just like sit there and like rub it and look at him.
He's gonna watch this podcast and be like,
I honestly, that was in my mind, but I don't know if I really care if he does or not. Because I don't really care about the place I work. If I get fired, I will be fine.
You gotta invite her up.
"Does she need something?"
No, she wants to get up there. You have to tell her it's okay.
She's a vampire. You have to invite her.
Yeah, you have to invite her up there. You gotta go. Come on.
Come on, baby.
She needs my consent.
Come on. There you go.
Hi.
Yeah, she wanted your consent.
Yeah. Speaking of jobs, remember I was talking about allegedly time stealing?
Oh yeah.
So allegedly because
In Minecraft.
sure, I was time stealing in Minecraft. So they cracked down on that. I'm not like in any trouble or anything, but like they just like stopped letting people do it. They kind of
Wow.
like, there was one day I definitely was pushing the envelope where I added what I would do is I would stay home one day a week and then just
Extra.
say I worked that day and they would still pay me
Bro.
allegedly. And this week what I did was I put on that I was there for 2 days that week and I stayed home for 2 days, worked 2 days. So I said I was there for the whole 4 days. And that week they gave me a call and was like, "Hey, the time card is a little bit messed up. It's not matching like your punches." I was like, "Oh, okay." He wasn't like accusing me. He was like, "It's just messed up. Could you go in and fix it?" And I was like, "Yeah." I just fixed it. And that was like the end of it.
So you're like, I'm not gonna do
I'm
that.
like, yeah, so now they're paying attention. Actually, no, there was another time they gave me a call because I had left early one day, but I still said that I worked until 6. I left at like 4:30. Apparently they are able to see the door, like you have to scan your badge to leave the building. I didn't clock out, but I hit the badge to leave the building, and that has a timestamp that they're able to see as like the contractor. So they were like, "It says here that you punched out at 4:30, but you put on the time card because I had to manually put my hours in at 6." And then I didn't have like whatever program, like I think it was Kronos, allegedly, where you're able to log in and like see all your stuff. But I didn't have access to that, so I wasn't able to accurately put my stuff over. So I kind of got the benefit of the doubt 2 times in a row. So I've been very careful.
I was gonna say, there's no way you're gonna get a third.
No,
They're gonna catch on for
yeah.
sure.
But they need people so bad that I don't think that they would even.
That's fraud.
Yeah.
Well,
You're
my
committing
work, they'll go
fraud.
in and manually fix your hours and not tell you.
Yeah.
You know what, Matt? I don't think you deserve a house because you're committing fraud. And it's a choice you made, so you need to...
Allegedly committing fraud.
Allegedly.
Allegedly committing time theft. Allegedly.
I have a battery over here. We could hook Matthew up.
This
to.
is all hypothetical. That if I did, yeah, I'm
Torture him!
what is that one movie called with Jason Statham where like he has to stay at Crank? He has to stay at a certain voltage, otherwise his heart stops, and he has like electric
Iron Man?
powers. No, the fuck. I mean, yeah, that is kind of the same thing. Like he has to have his core, his arc reactor, whatever.
His
the fuck.
core needs to be stimulated.
Dude, his core is so chiseled.
Becca,
like
do you
steel.
have that extra phone?
I do. Do
Okay.
you want to do the...
Yeah, I chose 4 of them, so we're gonna have to like pick between them. All right, are we ready for the Reddit?
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse you.
Thanks.
Am I the asshole for breaking up with my boyfriend because he left my 8-year-old son at home as a punishment? This is a tough one, as I can't tell if my mama bear instincts are simply taking over, but something is telling me to run for the hills on this, and everyone is telling me that I'm the one wrong here. I've been with my boyfriend for 3 years, and I have an 8-year-old son and a 12-year-old son. He has an 11-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old son. We just introduced all the kids about a year ago, and in the more recent months, we have been doing weekends at my place. Back a couple weeks ago, we planned to go to the water park today with all the kids. We told all the kids and they were very excited to go. I had to work a couple hours early this morning, so my plan was for my boyfriend to drive all the kids to the water park at noon, and I would meet up with them at that time. I get to the water park at noon as planned, and he has only 3 kids with him. My 8-year-old was not with him. I start freaking out and asking where my son is. He tells me that my son apparently wouldn't take care of his laundry that I did last night. So he decided that since he refused to listen to him and refused to take care of his clothes, that he would not be attending the water park because it's considered a threat and it's considered a treat, not a threat. A treat, and my son did not earn it. He tells me that my mother has my son. She lives with me, and as she's elderly. I immediately tell my older son to get in the car. My boyfriend asks what I am doing, and I say that I am going to go get my kid, and he is absolutely wrong for thinking he has any authority to punish my child. I didn't tell my son to put his clothes away, so I asked him why he thinks he has the right to go on a power trip and step in and tell my child to do anything without first discussing it with me. He starts getting irritated and tells me that I shouldn't expect him to jump on board if he has no say on how the kids are raised, and that it's important for the kids to see us working together as a team and being on the same page in the form of punishments so that hostile or resentful environments aren't created. And once again told me that my son did not earn his right to the water park. And if him and I already made a plan, then my son should have stepped up and said something. I told him he wasn't welcome back at my house and we were done. I then drove home, packed up all the items that he and his children had at my home and left it at the end of the driveway and told him to come collect it before people think it's free items. I locked the doors. I told my mom not to let him in, and I took off with my children to go to a separate water park. He is blowing up my phone at this point because I'm apparently being ignorant and ruining my son by making him entitled and not making him earn his way. Am I the asshole?
Wait, so she kicked out the dad? Or what happened at the end?
It's a boyfriend.
She kicked out the boyfriend?
The kid is not related to him in any way.
But she put all his stuff outside and locked all the doors?
She did not kick him out. They were spending weekends at her place. They both have their own separate homes. I
missed that part. Damn.
So she removed any items of his and any items of his children's and...
What? What? You want me to move?
She wants to go outside.
Oh. Well, I'm not gonna do it.
She's like, I got a shit.
I ain't your mama.
But yeah, the dude basically went on a fucking power trip and let the laundry... The mom never asked the kid to do the laundry. He just kind of came over to pick him up like, why isn't this laundry done?
An 8-year-old.
He's an 8-year-old.
Like, it's different if they were like 13. You know?
I mean, yeah. With Jay, like as he gets older, there's more expected of him. When he was 8 years old, I did not expect him to do his laundry. The most that I expected him to do was to remove his underwear from his pants. Because like when he takes it off in one swoop.
I do that shit still.
I hate that shit. I hate it so
much.
much.
Well, with my own laundry, I had to deal with it. You know what I mean?
Like leaving an 8-year-old alone in a house
with an elderly mother who more than likely, like, obviously that wasn't an okay thing.
Oh, there was someone else there?
Yeah, the mom was home. She is elderly though.
Like the grandma?
Yeah, the grandma to the kid.
Okay, so he wasn't by himself, but like still.
Like apparently the mom was not okay with I'm assuming the mom was she's elderly enough where she can't take care of herself and has to live with her. So I'm assuming like that she can't be a caregiver.
I feel like they're not the asshole.
No, definitely not the asshole.
This was tough. I do see why the mom is mad. Absolutely, I see it. But I don't know how long they were together.
They were together for 3 years, but they do not live together.
Okay, so 3 years.
And they just started recently having overnights at her place.
Okay.
Like they're taking it slow, I guess.
I probably wouldn't tell a kid. I probably wouldn't have done that. But I don't know. I think she's right to be upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he should have done that.
Mhm.
But I can see, like, if he's trying to be like, this will impress your mom if I could get your kid to do what I say. Which might be
Ooh.
a power trip. That might be what a power
But he
trip is.
didn't, so.
Right, he wasn't successful. So he's like, all right, you're fucking gonna stay here then. Maybe he was just mad that he didn't do what he said.
He's not even the kid's stepdad. They're not even married.
Yeah.
Like, even now to this day, like, I've been in Jay's life for over 10 years now. And I still am careful over which lines I cross because I am his stepmom.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I don't do any punishment or anything like that. And if something bothers me, I don't go to him first. I go to Justin and I'm like, hey, this bothers me, blah, blah, blah. And then it's either like, oh, well, I can take care of this, or, oh, well, let's talk about this because I don't see this as a problem. Like, as a step parent, there are very, very fine lines and you just don't cross them. That guy was not even a stepdad.
Yeah.
He was just trying to take authority over a kid that wasn't even his without talking to the mom at all first. And something as dramatic as you don't get to go have fun. Like, that is a dramatic thing for a kid. Like, imagine being so excited to go to the water park. And then your mom's boyfriend comes in and sees that you didn't do laundry, which you were never asked to do in the first place.
So, like, he didn't even give him an option to do laundry. He was just like, you're not going?
Yeah.
Oh.
He,
I
like-
thought he was like, do the laundry or you're not going.
No, he was never asked to do the laundry in the first place. He just came over and saw that the kid had laundry that wasn't done and like freaked out over it. Like, that is a huge fucking red flag. Like, this is why I don't believe in taking it slow in relationships. Because when they're 3 years in, she just wasted 3 years of her fucking life for the red flags to just now be popping
Well, think
up.
about where they would have been if they took it fast.
Well, I'm not saying like, I'm saying it took 3 years to get to this, right? Like, if they would have, after a year, if they would have started having weekend stayovers instead of at the 3-year mark having weekend stayovers, she would have found this out much sooner.
Yeah.
And only wasted a year of her life instead of 3 years of her life.
So the other kids were his?
Yes, he had
Okay.
2 kids and she had 2 kids.
It's like they were treating them like they weren't a part of the family, kind of.
I mean, yeah.
Am I the asshole for not wanting to be friends with my boyfriend's ex? I'm 30 female, have told my partner 29 male about my discomfort when we were with his ex, and I've told him that I have no interest in us being friends. I respect the relationship he has with her, or had with her, but it is exposing me to many unpleasant situations, like to invite her home to spend the day and have dinner without first talking to me about it. Maybe my feeling is a little irrational, but I feel very little listened to.
Not the asshole. Okay. I think with me, I feel like when you get with someone new, all ties should be cut from your ex.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's okay to be like friendly with your ex before then.
But like not in like a personal way.
Yeah.
Not like invite them over to the house.
But like once you have committed to another person, I feel like all exes should not be in your life.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just a recipe for failure for that relationship, because I can't imagine like coming home and seeing my boyfriend's ex-girlfriend like hanging out there. It would make me feel it just like stirs up insecurities and shit because they used to like fuck.
I think it's different though if they like have kids and it's like they're just doing it for the
Co-parenting?
kid.
I
Yeah,
think co-parenting.
co-parenting.
Well,
That's different.
co-parenting is a lot different because you're not there for that person. They're not there for
Yeah.
them. They're there for the kids.
Exactly. But they don't mention really that. But I assume it's not about that. And it's just like a grown man and a grown woman that used to be in a relationship hanging out, no one else. That's sketchy.
That I would not be okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, it would be different like if he was friends with an ex and like we all hung out together, but I would not
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be comfortable if he just like invited her over and I wasn't there.
Or like the ex was a part of a friend group and it's like you all just have the friends in common.
Yeah, and you go hang out and they're
Yeah,
there. That's okay.
that's fine.
But when it's just like you're inviting them over to your house and it's just you and them, I don't know. I'd be
Like
very
the
uncomfortable with that.
one-on-one is sketchy to me.
Well, I would
In your own home?
Well,
No.
eventually I'd start questioning shit because it's like usually exes are exes for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only way that this would be different is like, let's say that they were childhood friends and they like grew up together and they dated briefly and then they're like, this isn't for us, and then they broke up and then they continue to be friends. That would be
Yeah.
different.
What do you think, Matt?
Well, I'm I was in a similar situation, but I did what I should have done. Like okay, so just to paint the picture, I was in high school and I was seeing, or not necessarily seeing somebody, but it was like, I was kind of friend zoned by this person, but we still hung out very, very often.
I remember this.
And I asked her to prom with me, and she agreed. She went to a different school, so I had to like fill out paperwork to be able to get her to go to my prom. And then between when I asked her and when I went to prom, I met the girlfriend I'm with now. And so I did what I should have done, and I told the first girl, hey, since this isn't working out between me and you, I'm inviting my now girlfriend, because I asked the first girl out like 3 or 4 times. I was pretty.
And you were friend zoned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. But she got upset about it.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't imagine, like, no, you got to take me and not your girlfriend.
But she still went.
Yeah.
She had a good time. But it was very awkward because initially, like, I was with Maya, we were sitting at a table, and then the other girl walks up to me and is just like all bubbly, like, hey, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. And I like got scared because I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't want Maya to think that I'm like talking to you right now,
Yeah.
because I don't know if she knows about you. I didn't want to like.
You didn't even bring it up to Maya?
I think I told her, but like I don't remember how much Maya knew.
Okay, yeah.
So like I was like, oh, hey, like I was like very visibly uncomfortable, and then she kind of like was like, oh, okay, whatever, and then walked away. And that was like the last time we ever talked. But
I guess for her, she probably saw you as a friend, so it was like,
yeah. But she got
knew
upset when I started dating somebody.
Yeah.
So
I forgot
Like
about that whole
I want
thing.
what I can't have type thing.
I guess.
I think she just liked the attention. She liked that you liked her, even though she wasn't interested in you in that way.
Yeah.
And so it made her feel some kind of jealousy when you did get a girlfriend, because she's going to lose that attention.
Yeah.
But you knew to like cut ties.
No, yeah. My whole thing was I can't be in any sort of relationship with somebody who I have feelings for if I'm in a relationship.
And ideally, before you get in a relationship, you stop having
You
feelings.
cut the tie.
Yeah.
first. But
Well,
when it's new, it's a little different. You can still have feelings for someone when you just first start dating someone else. You know what I mean? It's like brand new. You don't even know that person that you're dating yet. If you still have, if like a few months go down, a few months into the relationship and you still have feelings, you know what I mean? Then it's kind of like, why am I here?
Like those feelings faded very quickly.
yeah.
Like within the month, it was kind of like, I'm kind of fine with this. Like I'm fine with not talking to her. But, yeah, I mean, I made the right decision. I mean, I shouldn't have, if I'm dating somebody and I go to prom with another girl, how does that look?
Yeah. That's not.
So, and also if I'm talking to someone who I had feelings or previously had feelings for, like on like a regular basis where I don't have to, and I'm in a committed relationship, that is also a problem.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not even going to allow this to happen.
It's like mostly, I think, out of respect. Like,
yeah.
Like,
I mean,
sure, you could be on good terms with your ex, but for respect of the person you're with now, it's respectful to like, cut ties.
When I was in high school, I was a little player, and
Oh my god, you were the biggest player, Caitlin.
I had 3 dates to homecoming, and they all knew about each other. And so I just had to keep dividing my time between 3 different men.
So you
or they were boys at the time because I was in high school.
You dated cucks, is what you're saying.
I mean, they would have done anything.
I don't want to know that.
That was a joke.
I don't want to know that.
But yeah, I went on a homecoming. I like remember dancing with 3 different guys. Well, that was like, I had such low self-esteem, and then I just started getting attention from boys, and I was like, I ate it all up. I pretty much did, I don't remember her name, but the girl in your scenario, I pretty much did what she did to you, but to other guys.
Yeah.
But were you in a relationship at that time?
I don't think so.
I was in a relationship with Maya.
I think she was talking to me.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I don't think so.
So I don't think it's not good to play people like that, but
I
you were
was
in a relationship.
It wasn't like I was intentionally playing them.
Yeah.
I just didn't know what I wanted because I was a kid, and I liked the attention.
Yeah.
And
but
I eventually made a decision on who I wanted to date. But
it would have been different if you were like in a relationship and entertaining.
Well, yeah,
Like,
yeah. That no, I was not in a relationship. I just had 3 dates to homecoming.
Yeah, there was a point where I was like walking into school because Maya had a choir concert, and the girl had texted me saying, "Is it cool if we're still friends?" And I was like, "No."
Yeah, no.
I was like, I can't. Like, just
No.
respectfully, I can't.
You told her that?
Yeah, like on.
And if she respected you, she would understand that.
I mean,
So.
honestly, I don't really care if she respects the decision or not. It's what's happening.
Well, no, I'm just saying if she had any respect for you,
Yeah,
and it obvious she didn't. So
I mean, any value she had in my eyes was pretty.
you're like, I don't even care if you
I
respect
honestly
me.
did not even care
Yeah.
at
She
that
was
point.
just stringing you along, is what she was saying.
And-
Like I said,
Yeah.
she did what I did, and
Yeah.
she liked the attention.
Yeah,
Because a person that respects you would be like, I understand, it's fine.
because if I want to commit to somebody, I still have like
All these
loose
hoes.
ends. That's I can't have
You
that.
gotta
happen.
get that lighter and fucking
Yeah.
seal those ends.
About to just blow up their houses so
Yeah,
they have
that
to live
too.
on the streets.
Make them homeless.
Make
Make
'em
them
homeless.
full circle moment.
Yeah. Call back. All right. Well,
So they're the asshole for sure. I mean, wait, they're not. Wait, what was the story? They're not.
they're
the asshole.
not the asshole.
They're not the. I was like, wait,
because
which story
that
was
is
it?
a sketchy fucking situation to be in. So
Not the
it's
asshole.
not. Yeah. All right.
We're
Goodbye.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
That's
yeah.
the whole thing. This is it. Mic drop. I'm not actually gonna drop the
No,
mic.
don't.
Don't.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up before this continues to get worse.
Okay, bye.